Just 1 hour ago, there was a shocking development during the construction of the Third Temple. Something terrifying happened, and everyone's talking about it. What could have gone wrong? Stay tuned as we dive into this video today to uncover the details and understand what happened. The idea of the Third Temple is a significant belief that a new temple will one day be built in Jerusalem. People have different views on this based on their religious beliefs. For some, it's important in the Messianic era, while others see it differently. This concept is closely linked to eschatology, which is the study of end times, and it varies among Jewish groups. The term Third Temple comes from there being a first and second temple before. Temples are seen as the dwelling place of God in Jewish tradition. They were central to Jewish religious practices, symbolizing a direct connection between the Jewish people and God, showcasing the connection to the land of Israel. The Second Temple in Jerusalem had different parts. The Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber, had the Ark of the Covenant, symbolizing God's presence. The high priest entered once a year for atonement. Next to it was the holy place with the golden altar of incense, the table of showbread, and the 7-branched menorah. The outer courtyard was where rituals and sacrifices happened. The first temple, Solomon's temple, was built by King Solomon and destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BCE. The Romans destroyed the second temple, expanded by King Herod in 70 CE, leading to the Jewish diaspora. The absence of the first and second temples has created anticipation for the Third Temple. Despite its complex nature, many believers eagerly await the day it becomes a reality, holding immense spiritual and cultural significance in Jewish tradition. The quest for rebuilding the Third Temple continues, with discussions and interpretations shaping beliefs around this symbolic structure. But why are things proving difficult in rebuilding the Third Temple? The tale of the First and Second Temples involves many events that affected Jerusalem and the Temple Mount. After the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in 70 CE, they changed Jerusalem's name to Aelia Capitolina, making it a Roman colony. It took time for Jerusalem to recover from this conquest. The Temple Mount also underwent significant changes. After the Second Temple's destruction, Islam emerged as a new religion on the Temple Mount. Islam introduced two important structures, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, built in the 7th century CE, is highly revered by Muslims worldwide. It's considered Islam's third most sacred site, after Mecca and Medina. Islam's connection to the Temple Mount dates back to the night journey of the Prophet Muhammad. According to Islamic tradition, the angel Gabriel transported Muhammad from Mecca to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, where he led prayers during this miraculous journey. This event, known as Isra and Miraj, highlights the deep spiritual bond between the divine and the prophet. Muslims refute the Jewish claim that the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock are built on the remains of their former temples. They view this assertion as an attempt to diminish these sites' historical and religious significance. Over the centuries, both structures have undergone renovations and expansions, preserving their architectural and spiritual importance. However, a long-standing conflict has arisen between Jews and Muslims regarding ownership of the Temple Mount. Many Jews argue that these Islamic structures erase evidence of their previous temples, accusing Muslims of maintaining control over the site. This dispute has led to tensions and controversies over time. Recently, scientists have begun uncovering intriguing discoveries that add new insights to this complex narrative. Arrival of red heifers. 5 special red heifers, all under 1-year-old, have arrived in Israel from Texas. According to Jewish law, these heifers play a crucial role in making things pure. If they remain completely red without any marks, they can be used to produce special ashes. These ashes are necessary for purifying individuals who have come into contact with a dead body, ensuring they are ritually clean, especially for the priests, Kohanim, to perform their duties in the future temple. The Temple Institute is overseeing the preparations for building the Third Temple in Jerusalem. They explain that if the heifers remain perfect, they will be used to produce the special ashes needed for purification rituals. However, there are strict rules to follow. The heifers first undergo a quarantine period of at least 7 days in Haifa to ensure they are healthy. Afterward, they will be relocated to various locations in Israel, with one of them being accessible for public viewing. The heifers will be cared for until they reach maturity and can be turned into ashes, typically around their 3rd year of life. The Bonich Israel organization, which includes members from both Jewish and Christian communities, played a key role in locating and bringing these special red heifers to Israel. Byron Stinson, a rancher from Texas, raised the cattle. A special ceremony was held at Ben Gurion Airport to welcome the heifers. Notable figures from the Temple Institute, such as Rabbi Chanan Kupietsky, Rabbi Tzachi Mamo, Rabbi Yisrael Ariel, and Rabbi Azariah Ariel, were present, along with Byron Stinson and Netanyahu Isaac from the Jerusalem and Heritage Ministry. The significance of red heifers dates back to the book of Numbers 19:3, where God commands Moses and Aaron to instruct the Israelites to bring a flawless red cow without blemish. The Torah provides detailed instructions for the red heifer ritual, which involves a specific procedure including burning the cow and mixing its ashes with sanctified water. This water-ash mixture is used to purify individuals who have become impure due to contact with a human corpse, with the purification process occurring 3 days after the contact and then again 7 days later. The Revelation states that a red heifer was brought to Eleazar, the priest, son of Aaron, and processed for its ashes for the ritual. According to the Talmud, these ashes were used from then until the end of the First Temple period. During the Second Temple period, 5 to 7 red heifers were sacrificed for their ashes. In his Mishneh Torah, Maimonides believes that the Messiah will bring the next red heifer. He connects the red heifer's significance to the future restoration of the temple in Jerusalem. The Mishneh Torah emphasizes this point, stating, "The next red heifer will be brought by the Messiah, highlighting its future role and connection to the Messianic era." In modern times, all Jews, including priests, Kohanim, are assumed to carry impurity from contact with a corpse. While this impurity doesn't significantly impact daily life, it prevents those impure from entering the temple. Kohanim, impure in this way, cannot conduct required temple services until purified with the ashes of a red heifer. This purification becomes crucial for any attempt to re-establish the temple in Jerusalem. Discovery of Pool of Siloam. Despite objections from the Islamic community, Jewish archaeologists excavated some parts of the Temple Mount, uncovering evidence of the earlier temples. A significant discovery occurred in 2004 during a construction project near Jerusalem's Old City, revealing the Pool of Siloam. The Pool of Siloam is mentioned in the New Testament, particularly in the Gospel of John, as the site of a miracle performed by Jesus. This discovery provided valuable insights into the city's ancient water supply system. Inscriptions and pottery fragments found at the site date back to the Second Temple period, around the 1st century CE. Archaeological excavation and restoration efforts have confirmed the historical authenticity and connection of the Pool of Siloam to the time of Jesus. This discovery is groundbreaking for archaeologists and holds significant importance for Jews and Christians worldwide. It serves as evidence of the past temples on the Temple Mount and suggests readiness for the construction of the Third Temple. The Pool of Siloam had a significant role in temple worship, especially during the Second Temple period. Although it wasn't part of the temple complex itself, it was important for certain rituals and worship practices. For example, during the Feast of Tabernacles, water from the pool was used in the water libation ceremony at the temple. This ceremony involved pouring water at the altar to symbolize God's provision of water during the Israelites' wilderness journey. The pool also served for ritual purification, necessary for those participating in temple activities. While the pool isn't extensively mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, its association with Jesus' miracle adds to its significance for Christians. The Pool of Siloam was a crucial water source for Jerusalem, meeting daily needs and fulfilling ritual requirements for temple worship. Though not explicitly mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, its role in temple rituals, especially during the Feast of Tabernacles, underscores its importance in ancient Jewish worship. Arrival of foxes, fulfillment of prophecy. The foretelling of the temple's destruction can be traced back to the Book of Lamentations by the prophet Jeremiah. In chapter 5, verse 18, he paints a vivid picture of Mount Zion's desolation, emphasizing the emptiness to the extent that foxes roam freely. This imagery suggests a barren temple mount where wild animals freely wander, yet a subtle glimmer of hope is embedded within this desolation. During the recent fast day commemorating the destruction of the two temples in Jerusalem, an extraordinary event unfolded. A fox was sighted on the wall of the Temple Mount, capturing attention as images and videos of this unusual occurrence quickly circulated on social media. This fox sighting resonated with an ancient prophecy from the book of Micah 3:12, articulated by Uriah, foretelling the transformation of Zion into a plowed field and Jerusalem into rubble, with the Temple Mount resembling the high places of a forest where foxes are commonly found. The alignment of this prophecy with the presence of a fox on the Temple Mount adds a layer of significance to the unfolding events. The sight of a fox on the Temple Mount during Tisha B'Av was perceived as a fulfillment of ancient prophecies, adding a layer of symbolism to the solemn occasion. A tale from the Babylonian Talmud, recounting an encounter involving Rabban Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Joshua, and Rabbi Akiva, resonates with this occurrence. As they ascended to Jerusalem and reached the Temple Mount, they witnessed a fox emerging from the Holy of Holies. The response was a collective expression of sorrow, with everyone crying except for Rabbi Akiva, who laughed unexpectedly. Inquiring about their tears, Rabbi Akiva challenged their grief, questioning why they wept over the sanctity of a place that foxes had now visited. In response, Rabbi Akiva referred to the prophecies of Uriah and Zechariah, emphasizing the interconnected nature of these predictions. Uriah's prophecy, envisioning Zion being plowed like a field, needed fulfillment for Zechariah's prophecy to materialize. Rabbi Akiva further delved into the connection between Uriah's prophecy and that of Zechariah. He highlighted how Isaiah linked Uriah's prophecy to Zechariah's, emphasizing their continuity across different eras. Zechariah's prophecy depicted a future scene of elderly men and women dwelling peacefully in the streets of Jerusalem, offering a contrasting image to the desolation described by Uriah. With profound insight, Rabbi Akiva affirmed the validity of Zechariah's prophecy, noting that its fulfillment hinged on the realization of Uriah's prophecy. This linkage underscored the interconnectedness of these ancient predictions, echoing across time to shape the destiny of Jerusalem. Moreover, recent sightings of foxes near the Temple Mount added a contemporary dimension to these ancient prophecies. In 2019, Rabbi Shmuel Rabinovitz, the rabbi of the Western Wall, expressed deep emotion upon witnessing foxes near the Temple Mount on the evening of Tisha B'Av, remarking that it evoked the fulfillment of the prophecy of "foxes walked in it." Reflecting on history, Rabbi Rabinovitz drew parallels to Rabbi Akiva's consolation of his peers following the temple's destruction. He offered a prayer for the realization of promised peace, echoing Rabbi Akiva's hope for a brighter future. Rabbi Rabinovitz expressed, "May we witness the fulfillment of Rabbi Akiva's promise, just as we saw what he and his friends witnessed soon. Amen." Despite the fulfillment of Uriah's prophecy with the temple's desolation and the presence of foxes, the anticipation persists for Zechariah's vision. While Jerusalem is under Jewish sovereignty once more, enduring peace remains elusive. Although we are nearer to fulfillment than Rabbi Akiva's time 2 millennia ago, the yearning for the complete realization of Zechariah's prophecy endures. Place of the Third Temple. Zechariah 6:12 speaks of a future temple and mentions the branch that will construct it. This prophecy emphasizes the importance of this figure in building the temple. Revelation 11:1-2 portrays a scene where the temple of God is measured, highlighting its significance in divine plans. Determining the location of the Third Temple is a significant question. Recent discoveries of ruins outside Jerusalem's old city walls, known as Wadi Helu by Palestinian Arabs and the City of David by Israeli authorities, add complexity to this inquiry. Ongoing excavations dating back to the late 1800s focus attention on this historically significant area. In 2 Samuel 5:9, David is noted to have resided in a stronghold named the City of David. This biblical reference corresponds with present-day excavations, making the City of David one of Israel's most extensively studied archaeological sites. Revelation's depiction of measuring the temple and altar while excluding the outer court suggests a focus on the sacred elements, emphasizing their significance. The mention of 42 months during which nations will trample the holy city adds a temporal aspect to these prophetic visions. Considering the future temple, these biblical passages provide intriguing insights into divine intentions. Ongoing archaeological endeavors, coupled with historical and prophetic viewpoints, add layers of complexity to the mystery surrounding the Third Temple's location and importance. Delving deeper into the narrative, the phrase "David built all around" in 2 Samuel 5:9 is captivating, especially given recent discoveries. Archaeological findings unveil ruins of 5 interconnected urban sites dating back to around 1000 BC, coinciding with King David's reign. The similar layout of these cities suggests evidence of a sophisticated monarchy centered on a stronghold believed to be associated with David. Some reports and videos propose new ideas about the temple's location, pointing to the City of David. Some researchers suggest that King Solomon's original temple might have been in a cave, which challenges the commonly accepted location. Ongoing exploration and discoveries contribute to our changing understanding of historical sites. The beliefs of the Jewish community are vital when considering the temple's restoration. Many believe that the Dome of the Rock, a Muslim shrine, is situated in the original temple location. According to the Temple Institute of Jerusalem, this spot is known as the Rock. Regardless of whether the temple was originally in a cave or not, the prevailing belief within the Jewish community will play a significant role in determining the temple's location. Dome of Rock as an obstacle. A key point to think about is what will happen to the Dome of the Rock in the future. Some propose that a Jewish temple could exist alongside it, but many Jewish leaders argue that the Dome of the Rock must be removed for the Third Temple to be rebuilt. It's crucial to understand that the Dome of the Rock is not a mosque but an Islamic structure, which complicates discussions about these holy places' future. Historical evidence, religious beliefs, and geopolitical factors all influence the ongoing conversation about the future of the Third Temple. The debate also centers on where the original temple might have stood. Some reports and videos suggest a new idea, that a cave could have been the temple's location, challenging the widely accepted view. This discussion brings fresh perspectives to the historical setting of King Solomon's original temple, sparking new conversations. At the core of debates about rebuilding the temple is the deep importance of what the Jewish people believe about its rightful place. Ultimately, the decision on where to reconstruct the temple rests with the Jewish community. Despite differing views, there's a prevailing belief that the Dome of the Rock, an important Muslim shrine, sits on the sacred site of the original temple. The Temple Institute of Jerusalem identifies this disputed area as the Rock. How is all this connected with the Messiah? According to Jewish beliefs, the Messiah will only come after the Third Temple is built, and specific events within it must occur before the Messiah's arrival. In Judaism, the Messiah, known as Mashiach in Hebrew, is seen as a future leader anointed from the lineage of King David. This figure is expected to bring about the ultimate redemption of the Jewish people, gathering them from around the world and establishing a period of peace and prosperity. Similarly, Christians await the Messiah's return, referring to it as Jesus Christ's second coming. In the books of Matthew 24:15 and Mark 13:14, Jesus talks about the abomination of desolation within the context of end times prophecies. He warns of a future event where something unholy stands in the holy place, advising people to escape from Judea when they see it. This event indicates imminent destruction and judgment. The interpretation of the abomination of desolation and its link to the Third Temple ignites theological debates. While some see it as a past event involving the desecration of the Second Temple by Antiochus IV, others predict its future fulfillment connected to the construction and desecration of the Third Temple. This differing interpretation fuels discussions about apocalyptic events before the Messiah's coming. The construction and later desecration of the Third Temple are believed to trigger apocalyptic events before the Messiah arrived. Despite concerns about the idea of desecration, the possibility of it happening and signaling the Messiah's return remains significant. So what do you think of the events that happened during the Third Temple's construction? Comment below and subscribe for more.